What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, an interesting video for you here on the channel. Who will dethrone LA Knight? Now, there's a lot of options we can go. We have 10 people for you today that we're going to talk about. I necessarily don't believe all 10 really are going to be able to dethrone LA Knight, but there is some reasons to believe that there are some that could or could not. I'm also still in a different room. I'm going to be for a little bit. And that's why maybe this video should have been out a while ago. And now it's out right now. So, yes, we're going to be talking about LA Knight. There's a lot of possibilities. The road to WrestleMania is finally here, and we're going to kind of talk about potentially what his path could be. I mean, there's a lot of different options that he could go. And I don't know. I just have to believe that more than likely the person who goes against him at WrestleMania, LA Knight will lose to. And I say this because, yes, a second U.S. title run's great, but I do believe the main roster could be calling, or not main roster, that was crazy, main event scene could be calling his name. Especially, I just see LA Knight being a Raw star. I think going to Raw could elevate LA Knight wonders. And I could believe that LA Knight could be really doing great for Raw. So let's get started. Talking about Penta. He is the 10th guy. These are going to go from least likely to most likely. Now, I have to believe that Penta and the future of Rey Fenix is going to be tag teams in WWE. But they're kind of pushing Penta as a single star here for a while now. And I believe that Penta has been amazing as a single star for here and continuing to grow. And I have to just believe that Penta probably and most likely will, I want to say probably after WrestleMania, become more of a tag team with his brother than maybe a true single star. Now, the singles push is great. I believe they're doing wonders with him. I do also believe that, he's going to probably stay on Raw. Raw seems like his kind of ordeal. But if there would be a change of scenery and he goes more singles route, goes to SmackDown, Penta would be amazing. And I have to believe that Penta could be able to win the U.S. title, maybe not off an LA Knight, but just sometime in the future. Up next, we have Finn Balor. I also believe Finn Balor is one of the people that should be going to SmackDown during the draft. I think Raw is just, there's not much there. I think he could really develop himself and become a greater and not just Finn Balor. Finn Balor has been, let's just say, weak, to put it lightly, I think a lot of people would say. So I have to believe that they have some sort of direction for Finn Balor after WrestleMania. He has to get some type of push. If not, this is the year that everyone has lost hope in him. Truthfully, this is the year. I just have to be honest with you. It's hard for me to believe that he could go against somebody like an LA Knight and beat him. Finn Balor is an amazing talent, but his losses, how bad he's been, has just killed his character. Everyone sees it. Everyone talks about it. So it's hard to believe that he could be an LA Knight, but I still want to include him. Up next, we have Karrion Kross. He deserves a push. I think his heel character could work well with LA Knight. I think there could be a lot of great promos between the two, and I also just have to believe that Karrion Kross most likely will get a push in 2025. So it would happen on Raw like everyone thinks, or could it go to SmackDown? And I believe it's a possibility it happens on SmackDown. So I want to mention him as well. Bronson Reed, this is probably where I would start. I truly believe these are contenders. And then we have legitimate threats. Bronson Reed is somebody that I know will get a push in 2025. I don't know if it's either Money in the Bank. I don't know if it's getting a mid-card title. I don't know. Whatever it might be, I have to believe that Bronson Reed is going to be the future mid-card title winner or something that's very good. Like, not maybe even King of the Ring. Something crazy. His push late 2024 was great for him. He looked like a superstar. I think they had big plans for him. Yes, he hurt his foot, and he's going to come back. But Bronson Reed is somebody that when he comes back is going to look stronger than ever. I believe that when people come back from injuries, there's one or two things. They either come back, they stay with themselves, they don't really have this huge other gimmick, or they come back from injury and they disrupt house where everyone forgot about him and now people can believe, wow, Bronson Reed is back and Bronson Reed is going to destroy people, and they kind of elevate him a little bit. I think that's what could happen, and I believe Bronson Reed would make a ton of sense to be the one to either take the IC title or US title if on SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes is an interesting one for me. I think in another world, Carmelo Hayes would already have the US title, but Carmelo Hayes is selling the superstars in front of him. How young he is has kind of limited him from getting this title. And, Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight would always cook, I think, as a feud. I think Carmelo Hayes is a wonderful talent. I think he is a future star in this company. But, there's just other options that are better. And right now, Carmelo Hayes, he has next. He's not now, he's next. Chad Gable is somebody that I'm going to latch on forever probably because I have nonstop kind of said the idea of American Made will be moved to SmackDown, and it somewhat happened for a second, didn't happen entirely. Chad Gable will be moved to SmackDown, will go against LA Knight at WrestleMania. Not going to happen now because he's a luchador. Chad Gable will go against, which technically they said that's not him, but okay. Okay, bro got backup screamers. Chad Gable just gives off the U.S. title. And I think it's just the fact that he's American made. He needs a mid-card title. We always thought it would be the IC. You give him the U.S. title. It makes sense he's American made to have the U.S. title. He wins the gold finally. You elevate him in a sense there. He wins singles gold, and you wreck house with American Made and make him a great stable on SmackDown. That, to me, is what should happen. Now, is it happening? No. He's still kind of in the gimmick realm. And I have to just say that it's hard for me to see this, but I do believe a Chad Gable versus LA Knight would absolutely cook promo-wise and in the ring. So Sikoa is up next. I think here is where I would say legitimate threats. I have Solo here because I truly just believe that if anyone in the bloodline, the Timu bloodline, would win gold, it'd be Jacob Fatu. I don't believe it'd be Solo Sikoa. So I can't fully put my chips in here because I just have to say that I just don't see it. I think Solo Sikoa would likely win it if Jimmy won. If Jacob Fatu won. I just don't see an LA Knight. We've kind of already seen it before, and I just have to believe that LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa is not the match that's going to happen. Up next, we have Drew McIntyre. Now, this might be a crazy, crazy shout, but Drew McIntyre is on SmackDown. I could see a way where Damian Drew and LA Knight are U.S. title match at WrestleMania. And if that is the case, I have to believe Drew McIntyre wins that match. Drew McIntyre cannot keep losing matches. I think Drew, ultimately, I know it sucks to say, could win this U.S. title and just hold on for a little bit. I don't think he has to hold on for a long time. I don't think a mid-card title is what Drew needs. I think it is a main roster title. Or not, I keep saying main roster, main event title. But man, this would suck for me to see mid-card McIntyre. That's a crazy name. Mid-card McIntyre. I do believe, though, that if he's in a U.S. title match at all, he should be the one to win it. Truthfully, just being honest. Up next, we have Jimmy Uso. This is my second option. This is my runner-up. Jimmy Uso, for me, would win this if it wasn't for LA Knight being a babyface. I think once there's a heel that's involved with the title, I think that's when Jimmy Uso strikes. Now, maybe it's a multi-man match, and that's the one to dethrone him. There's a lot of options that could happen. That could be, a multi-man match to get it back. I think Jimmy Uso makes sense if it's a multi-man match to be the one to win, because maybe LA Knight is the babyface, but he pins the heel, and you see Jimmy Uso be the one to win. Now, It'd be interesting seeing there's like a feud that's happening with Jimmy and LA Knight. But I have to be honest, Jimmy Uso's hot right now. Pause. Jimmy Uso is doing very well in the ring ish. And I have to believe that because of Jay, Jimmy might get a singles run with a title run here soon, which would be kind of crazy. And finally, my prediction is Jacob Fatu. I think this is the WrestleMania match. I think it should be the WrestleMania match. I don't think LA Knight versus, what was it? Jimmy Uso, LA Knight versus Carmella Hayes. Make it a multi-man match. But the story they're kind of building right now with LA Knight stealing, the title opportunity from Jacob Fatu, and then Jacob Fatu watching LA Knight literally win now, could be an interesting way where you get Jacob Fatu saying, you technically did not beat me, and you stole my opportunity, and now I'm going to steal that title from you at Mania. Could be a way where they have a great feud. People will love it. Jacob Fatu's doing so well. I have to believe that this is the WrestleMania match, and I have to believe that it's 100% worth it. I think Jacob Fatu is good enough to win a title match. I think LA Knight is probably deserving of a main event seed. So Jacob Fatu getting that, holding that title for a while, maybe till like SummerSlam, then maybe losing to, maybe that's when we see Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, or maybe it's Jimmy Uso, whatever it might be. I think it's worth it. And I have to believe that Jacob Fatu could set up some bangers of matches in these next coming months if he would be the one to hold the title. And I just have to see it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Not see. Down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.